One of the main missed opportunities that I often see for schools marketers is that they are not building their email database. And if they are building their email database, they have an email database of people that have applied or inquired or booked a tour. And they're not actually building it early enough. Okay, so today I want to talk about why it's so important that we build our email database, and also make a case for you to build your email database early on in the transaction, which means that we're not only gathering like really warm leads that are interested in enrolling in the college, but we have specific strategies to build leads of audiences in our local area. So the first main reason why we want to build our communications database, email database, is for comms. Okay, we want to be able to email families. And what should we be emailing them? We should be emailing them things like event invitations. We should be emailing them segmented automations. So things like, sending year one inquiries, a video from the year one teacher. We want to be sending people that have inquired for enrollment for 2022 information about how to apply and deadlines. We want to send scholarship information to those that are interested in scholarships, and boarding information to those that are interested in boarding. So this is the main reason why we want to build our email database. I often hear school marketers say that email is dead, there's no one opening their email address, but with the right strategy, we have found, especially with segmentation, that you can get an open rate of between 50 to 60%. Often when there's some engagement that's already happened, like tour bookings, and it's a follow-up email after a tour, your open rate will be upwards of 80%. Okay, so don't underestimate the use of a good email address. Okay, so there's two more reasons, big reasons, why we want to collect email addresses besides just being able to email families. One is for data. Okay, so an email address can be used there's several different ways, but in two main ways. One, you can actually use the email to build audiences to retarget them on other platforms. Okay, so we can build audiences to retarget on social media, for example. And the thing that's needed to do that is their email address, amongst other identifiers. Email address is a very good identifier. Another way we can use our email address is to build something called lookalike audiences. And lookalike audiences, say for example, if you have a list of mums in the local area, then you can upload that email list, and you can create audiences that look like that specific mom that's in your target market, so you can target a broader audiences. So data is another big reason why we want to be collecting email addresses early on in the engagement. Another huge reason, which is very specific for schools, is for your CRM management. Okay, so as I've said millions of times, that so deciding on which school to go to is a long-term decision, and so we need something that's going to be used as a unique identifier for a contact. You can't just use a name and surname. You need something that's a unique identifier. So email is the number one unique identifier. Let me just quickly fix my pen. So email is the number one unique identifier of an individual. It still is, even though collecting telephone numbers and other data on your prospects is really important, email is still the number one unique identifier. Okay, so email allows us to keep a record on our contact. Okay, it's a hook, the first hook of our record. And then in our CRM, we can add other information to that email contact, such as the year levels of interest or their co-curricular interests and things like that. We can add more information about our contact based on the original email. The email also helps us then to measure our marketing. And it creates, so marketing data in bulk is useful information, like how many website visitors we got, or how many people booked a school tour. But the email gives us the ability to start identifying actions that people took on an individual level. So, for example, Mara downloaded an ebook, and then she made an inquiry, and then she booked a school tour, and then she applied. Okay? And the email gives you that hook to see exactly the progression and which steps that contact took through our database. And it's a unique identifier there. So it's very important. I suggest that we spend 10 to 20% of our digital budget on lead building, so that you can get email addresses early on in the conversation, and keep a clean database. Spend a lot of effort cleaning it up, making sure that it's working for you, and then take a look at the data at the end of the day of how many people are applying with the same email address that they originally made an inquiry from. I hope that helps.